Did you ever feel like you're losing time against your friends because you're using traction control? Or what the difference is between using no traction control and traction control and what the actual benefit is? We will cover it in this video. What is going on, guys? Marcel here, and today we are back with another video, and I've already said it in the intro. We're gonna have a look at why the traction control assist is limiting you. That's at least what I'm thinking, and we are gonna figure out. We are also gonna use the stock setup, so the standard setup, because a lot of you said it's maybe setup dependent with the racing line, and in some regard it is, but I think most of you are overthinking that. So we are just gonna use the default setup from the F1 game, standard setup number 3. Where is it? Right here, the default. And we're just gonna change the brake bias because nobody's gonna use brake bias on 50. And we are probably going to increase the on-throttle diff to 100 because that's what we usually do on most tracks. And yeah, so we're going to check out full, medium, and no traction control. And we are also going to reset my goes. And sorry, I'm not yet up to speed like how I was in esports. I've also changed my brakes recently and I'm feeling a bit weak right now, muscle-wise. Like already driving is making me a bit tired. Not because I'm any kind of like weak or I didn't train or whatever. It's just right now at the moment I'm feeling a bit lush. That's the correct word. But that doesn't matter. We're just still gonna have a look at what's going on so you guys learn what the difference is and why I recommend to you turning probably traction control completely off. I know there are 3 settings and the setting is medium or full or off. And we're gonna start off with full just to see how it is and how much grip we gain. So first of all, the traction control, what it's doing is it is gonna limit your RPM in the game. So the car automatically sees when your throttle input is too aggressive, it tries to limit it to a certain kind of RPM so you cannot spin. So a lot of you would probably say they still spin with traction control on full. But there's only a couple of reasons why that could happen. Either you're hitting a curb which you shouldn't touch, or hitting a curb that you can touch in a weird way. You're turning too much, or third option, you're hitting the grass or something else like a car or something that is like an object, something that you shouldn't touch aside from the road or the curb. And that's the reason why you can still spin with full traction control. But in theory, it's impossible to spin with full traction control because the game limits your input no matter how hard you press the throttle, whatever it thinks it's best in the corner type or usually it bites a lot on corner exits, slow speed corner exits. In full speed, I think the traction control is actually limiting you more and costing you more time, just because you cannot get that little bit more rotation that you would get if you have it off. Like these cars have a lot of grip and you can barely spin on full speed, but you can still get a bit more rotation. Like there's a little bit more slip from the tires and from the power that you can get to the tires, especially with the differential. And that will cost you a lot of lap time. So basically, with full traction control, also your on-throttle diff doesn't really matter. You could probably have it on 50 and not get any wheel spin. We're also gonna try that out in a second right here out of this corner, then we're gonna reset. Let's just quickly put it to 50. Usually you would hear wheel spin. No, nothing. I can already feel the car is completely planted, and you can even see it on the ref light. Let's go back for a second so you see what I mean. So the ref is... the RPM is getting limited. You can hear that. I'm full throttle. But you can see like it's a little bit jittery and it just doesn't work how it would. Like it's not smooth. That's because the game is limiting you there. So let's drive a lap with... Did we reset the time trial goes? I don't think I did. We're quickly gonna do that and we're gonna proceed. Reset personal best. Yes, sir. Okay, now it should be reset, and now we should be able to set a new lap time. So we're gonna put it back to 100 just so it's like linear. And you can hear, the engine is not giving us anything, it's so slow. We already lose time here. Well, not really because it's a default ghost. Let's see, in this corner it didn't really do much. You can hear it bite there again. Every time when the engine sounds a bit weird. You can hear it again. It's like it's not like it's like like vibrating in some way. That is when the traction control is kicking in. Yeah, it wasn't kicking. But I can literally, you can see, I will prove to you that you cannot spin by going full throttle everywhere where you wouldn't think you could go full throttle right away. Didn't bite here, was fine with the grip. I think also here it probably shouldn't bite that much. So might have thought a bit wrong about the traction control in high speeds. So 3.8, that's not really good. We're 1.5 seconds off the delta from Alvaro Patreton. I think that might be Caraton, I'm not sure. But now, look at this, I will go full throttle as early as I can. Look, I'm full throttle. Full throttle. There's no risk of spinning. We will do another lap just to see if we can improve. And then we're gonna switch to medium traction control probably right away, just so I can show you it's already quicker. And full throttle. And you can really just, if you use it, there's no reason why you wouldn't trust the traction control. It's literally so overpowered in terms of traction, because traction control. And it's even saying the name. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but most people still don't understand what it's doing. It's controlling your traction. So usually if you would lose traction, it's just like limiting you. You can see that I'm full throttle, no issue. We're even gaining lap time because I'm not used to it. We will probably also spin without traction control on first try. But that's fine, it's just for educational reasons, this video, right? So you guys understand why you're getting limited by the traction control. It might be off track, so we will do one more lap just to get a tiny bit quicker delta. And the reason why I picked Silverstone, because it has a couple of good slow speed corners like the upcoming ones and turn 3 and 4. And it also has a really high speed corner, so you can kind of understand what's actually going on. Look at this, I'm full throttle, full throttle. I'm even a bit hesitant to go full throttle in some areas. But it's so incredibly broken. When you think it would make you quicker because yeah, you can go full throttle, but no, it's limiting you. Full throttle. Was a bit bad for the racing line, but it's all good. We're gonna take this. I will also upload the Silverstone esports onboard commentary analysis video in probably 1 or 2 days. But I also want to shoot out a video after this. If the racing line, if the traction control is slower, and in general a lot of you want to understand how to turn these things off, I will make a separate video on that. And this is just kind of showing you what it actually does, so you fully understand. The main thing about racing is understanding what's wrong and what's right. If you don't understand what's actually holding you back, then you will never improve. So let's focus a tiny bit here to not get an invalid. Alright, we're good to go. This is all full throttle. Okay, so 27.5 with traction control on full. Let's have a look what traction control on medium does, and if I can still take most of the corners full throttle. I think I might not be able to, but it will still bite. It will reduce the kind of control that the game automatically applies. Let's try it in these sections first of all, and also let's do the same thing with differential on 50 if we get any wheel spin. Not really. It doesn't really give you any wheel spin. But I will show you that the diff on 50 without traction control, you can literally hear the inside tire spin. Because it gets too much wheel spin. Yeah, this is fine. Sorry. Okay. 50, 100 and medium traction control. Let's go. Let's do 2 or 3 laps again to see what we can do. And compare how it feels. And how much. We will definitely gain time now. Maybe medium traction control is actually the quickest. I can still go full throttle here. You can see I get already a bit more rotation on the throttle and it's holding me back less. You can see we're gaining time. Big time, actually. And that's already just because we get that extra rotation. So you know what I mean with when I say the traction control is holding you back? Look at this rotation. That was a bad line. Another bit of rotation. And we get so much out of here. Of course, we also messed up the racing line. But this is already 2/10. This is not just the racing line. This is literally just because we get more rotation, more speed. We can carry through some sections. There again, full throttle. You are still not really... No, you cannot lose the car, even with medium traction control. I'm full throttle through there. You get more rotation, but it kind of holds you back at a point when you want to spin. So actually, full traction control. Please, if any of you cannot turn traction control off completely, use it on medium, because you still cannot spin from your own inputs. If you don't steer too much or whatever, it's just so much quicker. So much more rotation the high speed sections. That's what I mean. Look at this. The delta already. That's nearly 4/10 right now. That could be even hard to beat maybe without... Or is it? No, not really. I think without traction control we will gain so much time just by the rotation. But look at this. First lap, nearly 5/10. Already crossing into the low 27s. Let's do one more and try and get into the 26s by driving a bit more cautiously. Not overusing the rotation that medium traction control offers. There I made a slight mistake. Got a little bit of wheel spin, but not much. You can get wheel spin now, but it's not like spinning you out. That's the thing. And sometimes you need a little bit of wheel spin to get extra rotation in the game. That felt weird. But we still gained on the exit because we had less understeer than compared to before on the previous lap. Come on, no invalid. Good. Little bit of understeer. Turned a tiny bit too much. Turned in too late, I think. Also turned my camera settings back to my esport settings with the 10 field of view. Feels a bit weird actually now. Feels a bit too quick somewhere and I'm missing some corners, but I will get used to it again. Look at this. Beautiful. Keep it in 4th here. Just for fun. That was awful. We're still gonna gain some time, I think. Alright, I messed it up a bit, but you know what? We will keep it. So we can kind of say no traction control, at least on this track. Medium traction control is already half a second quicker. More or less. Half a second, 4/10, something in between there. And that is a huge thing. So if you want to improve big time, switch your traction control at least from full to medium. And now I'm going to show you the magic of actually being able to control the throttle. I don't want to talk too early because I might spin now, being used to having so much grip. But first of all, let me show you what I mean. You can hear, I will be quiet, you can hear the tire spin on the corner if I'm accelerating with 50. Yeah, you couldn't really hear it in that corner too much. But let's go into turn 4 because definitely turn 4 you can hear it. Man, the rotation now is great. Turn 3. But now on the exit of turn 4 you can definitely hear it. Did you hear it? On the left side. Tire was spinning out. I don't know if you can even see it maybe on the replay. You slow it down a tiny bit. No, you cannot really see it too much. Well, unfortunately, I cannot... But you could hear it, you know what I mean? You could definitely hear the wheel spin on the left. And that's why the game is not limiting you. So technically you could run low differential on higher traction control. You want to. Because you anyways will have grip. But look at this now. Already so much more rotation. So we gain a tiny bit of time here on this straight. Here, missing the corner apex, which is fine. This honestly feels so much more natural, and we are already 2/10 up. This is literally because I can control it. The game is not limiting me at all. Even here, not good, but 3/10 up. I think at the end of the lap, we will see at least a mid-26. I hope so. Done a bit earlier this time was better. I think here you can see I have way less understeer. We're gaining nearly half a tenth to a tenth. That is great stuff. And in this corner here you will also see when I go on the throttle, because we have so much understeer anyways. I'm not getting off the track here. We didn't gain much time because I messed the line. Oops. But there we go. It's already... Why is it not going purple? Let's restart the lap because we had an awful exit. But we are already nearly half a second quicker, I think. We can see the full spectrum. I think it's more or less, at least on Silverstone, half a second between medium and no traction control. Also then, of course, depending on setup. The looser the setup is, the more the traction control will kick in. I think actually this here matters more in terms of what the setup does, rather than the racing line. The racing line barely gets affected by the setup. That was good. Maybe we can hit a great apex again. Nope. Miss it by miles. Even worse than on the previous lap. That was also terrible. We were early on the power, so we kind of make up for it again. Not great. I'm still a bit rusty on the game. There we go. Oi, oi, oi. So yeah, there we go. Another messy lap. I will maybe give it one more go because I also wasn't too happy now with that section. Tried to take it in fourth gear, like with the medium traction control. I'm actually having a bit of fun here. Silverstone is a great track. Fortunately, one of the only tracks where you don't have to cut corners. Saying that and cutting a corner. Okay, you have to cut turn 1 a bit, but that's literally nothing. You don't really have to. It gains you barely any time.
5 minutes later.
Okay, screw it. You know what, guys? We're gonna stick with that. We're gonna stick with that. You can see what I mean. We gained... So first lap was a 27.5 with traction control, and we had a 27.0 without traction control on and having it on medium. And from medium to no traction control, we had another half a second and probably more. Probably had a bit more time on all of them, but let's say in general, at least looking at Silverstone, on some tracks it might be more or less. There's from every single step, so from full to medium, half a second, or from medium to none, half a second. And that's a lot of lap time in Formula 1. So if you drive on full, please do me a favor and put it at least to medium. And if you're driving on medium, try and put it to 0, like none. In general, none is just 1 second quicker than full traction control. Probably more than 1 second. And that's so much lap time. Give it a go. And I will make a video about how you get rid of traction control. You could see it now today, what the actual issue is, what it does. And in the next video about traction control, I will teach you how to learn and understand what to do, take traction control off. I hope you've enjoyed that. Consider giving it a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos, especially not on the next one where we explain how to drive without traction control. I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely day, everyone. Peace.